Hello. I hope everybody is fantastic. It is the end of my work day. Wanted to check in with you all because we are going to have a wonderful conversation soon regarding Latina Equal Pay Day. So, Latina Equal Pay Day is October 5th. It's this Thursday, and I'm so excited to um, to talk a little bit about this because this is very personal to me. It is something that um, I have advocated for throughout my entire professional career. And so I am wanting to talk a little bit about this conversation today to prepare everybody for October 5th. And so here's what's so interesting. My very good friend Gloria Ramos Cortez is a part of a wonderful program called Latinas for Pay Equity. You can find them everywhere: Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Instagram. And so she and I had a fantastic conversation today about pay equity versus pay parity. And so we decided to have a cafecito chat, maybe tomorrow, maybe Thursday. We'll see when, but we're going to do that to prepare our wonderful Latinas out here who are professionals who are working really hard, who are, helping organizations meet objectives, contributing to the organization's bottom line. I mean, these are women that are wanting fairness and wanting to see equity in their pay. And so we are going to talk also a little bit about Latina Pay Negotiation Day, which is something that Latinas for Pay Equity are initiating. So this Thursday, October 5th, yes, it's Latina Equal Pay Day, but this particular group is going to focus on Latina Pay Negotiation Day. So, negotiating our salaries, walking into our organizations with our leadership value, with the body of evidence of our leadership value. This is indisputable, undeniable evidence that we want to show our employers that this is what I've contributed. This is what I have contributed to this organization. This is how I've saved the organization money. This is what my team and I have done to support the bottom line of this organization. Here's how we met objectives. This is how we have aligned with your strategic vision and planning. This is what we have contributed, and this is what I have spearheaded. And this is the body of evidence that we Latinas must build for ourselves, because so many of us are doing excellent work and we are sacrificing so much through, for these projects. And so we forget what we've accomplished. We forget the learnings of a particular project or a campaign. And so, what I like to talk to my clients about is building a leadership portfolio so that you can show the body of evidence to either an employer. So, should you want to go in there and have a pay negotiation or renegotiation of a salary, you're going to want to bring that body of evidence. Or you're looking to leave that organization for another and you're going through the interviewing process. And so this is more of a comprehensive list that you can present along with your resume. And so this is value. This is the value that you've brought to the organization. And so we, as Latinas, especially on Latina Equal Pay Day, which is again this Thursday, October 5th, again, Latinas for Pay Equity, this beautiful group that my gorgeous friend Gloria Ramos Cortez is a part of, they are going to talk mostly about Latina Pay Negotiation Day. And that's where we're going to talk about equal pay. We're going to talk about um, um, pay parity, because pay parity has to come first, right? Equal pay is us having these surface level conversations, but what it comes down to is pay parity, which requires employers to show that there is no pay gap across the workforce between men and women or other marginalized groups. That's pay parity, and that's important. So we are going to hopefully have a live stream I'm not sure, either tomorrow or Thursday. So you're going to want to follow me here. Facebook page is at Dr. Denise Simpson. So is LinkedIn. So is my YouTube channel. And then my personal Facebook group, Facebook page is just Denise Simpson. But I want for you to follow along because we're going to invite Gloria on and maybe some other folks from her group so that we can talk about the difference between pay equity and pay parity. Because I've always said, let's talk surface level if you want, but we have to talk about pay parity first. That's important. And so when I work with my leadership clients, we are building a body of evidence from the start. We're not waiting until we get chosen for the promotion. We're not waiting for someone to say you have leadership potential. No, we're building the body of evidence because this is how we're going to use the body of evidence for those negotiations, for salary negotiations. So when we're ready to say, this is everything I've done, I've contributed, here's the bottom line, here's how I saved the organization money, here's how we've contributed to the strategic vision and the plan, this is how my department has executed on this plan, this is how we've met objectives. That's evidence. It's indisputable. Listen, you're busy. You're a busy Latina. You're a busy Latina leader. You are out there raising families, leading teams, even, contributing to your communities. You're busy Latinas. And so it's important that we take a moment to reflect on our individual contribution to our organizations. That's important. And this is how you then build your body of evidence. So, September just ended. If you had several projects that you had to complete and you completed them successfully, and maybe some aren't completed yet, but I want for you to open up a Google folder, okay? Create a Google folder and you're going to name it Leadership Portfolio. This is how you're going to reflect back so that you can remind your mind of the accomplishments, of the learnings of that particular project. Because you're so busy, our brain is going to forget. Our minds will forget those accomplishments. So it's important that we build the body of evidence through Google folder or whatever, Dropbox folder, whatever you want to do. But I want for you to name it Leadership Portfolio, and inside you're going to create Google Docs, and each Google Doc will have a very simple format. It's like, what was the project? What was the date? What was my contribution? How did I spearhead this? What were the results that were created? And how was the organization impacted by my contribution? You understand? This is about you. This is about you. Because when you march into HR's office, you march into your leader's office, you're going to want to have the body of evidence. Talk is cheap. Talk is cheap. And as Latinas, we unfortunately are forced to go above and beyond and show proof. The burden of proof is on us. And so we have to build the evidence because no one else will. That's our responsibility. So if we're talking about Latina Equal Pay Day on October 5th, then we need to start putting forth the action. We need to understand that self-advocacy is the most powerful form of influence. Self-advocacy. I'm going to advocate for myself. So when I am looking for that pay increase, I'm going to have the body of evidence that I created in Google folder, and I'm going to show my leader, this is what was accomplished. And here's the value I've added. And I understand that there's research that's involved. I understand that you have to, do the research and the comp so that you can show them, well, this is what someone in my equal position is getting paid in this other equal organization. And here's the body of evidence that I'm contributing. And I'd like for you to take serious consideration when I'm going for my performance evaluation and I'm looking for this pay raise. So this is why it's important to start creating this mindset of self-advocacy as a Latina leader. Again, Latina Equal Pay Day is this Thursday, October 5th. Gloria Ramos Cortez, who's a great friend of mine, is a part of a beautiful group called Latinas for Pay Equity. And so come Thursday, they want for you to go into your organization and negotiate your salary. They are using the hashtag Latina Pay Negotiation Day. And so, what a great day to talk about pay parity, because that's holding employers accountable. That's that's the first line of defense. That's where we have to go in there and hold our organizations responsible. This is about pay parity. And then we can talk about pay equality. Pay parity, in my observation, in my professional experience, is the conversation starter. But a lot of us are stuck on pay equity. No, we have to take that a layer deeper so that we can go and talk to our organizations. They're the ones holding the standard of pay in their industries, right? So we need to go into our organizations and start having this conversation about pay equity. So it is pay parity first, pay equity second. But come Thursday, we want for Latinas to march into their offices and into the HR offices or their leader's office and start asking for reconsideration of their salaries. And we do that through the body of evidence that we create as leaders, your leadership portfolio. This is how we build our personal leadership brand. This is how we show the value that we have contributed to the organization. This is indisputable. This is everything that you've reflected on after a project has been completed or after a campaign has been completed. So you can remind your brain, no, this is what I did. And here are all the learnings. And here's how I personally contributed to this result. And so it's important, again, self-advocacy. That's what this is all about, my dear friends. It is all about advocating for oneself. And so Latinas, a really interesting statistic, and we'll talk more about this on our live stream that we'll have with Gloria very soon, is that Latinas earn 52 cents to every dollar paid to white and non-Hispanic men. 52 cents for every dollar. You understand why this day is so important, October 5th? This is why. Because we need to have these very challenging conversations with our employers, with ourselves to begin with. We have to come to terms with the injustice. We have to come to terms with the gap. We have to do that first for ourselves. That's self-advocacy. And when we have a grasp on self-advocacy, then we can go into any office and then we can show our leadership value and then we can show them the evidence list. This is how it works. This is how we change. This is how we contribute to the gap being closed. But not a lot of Latinas are talking about this. Well, why not, Latina? Too humble to talk about money? Can't talk about what you're making because your mom told you we don't talk about money at the dinner table? How many of you in our culture were told when we were little girls, don't talk about money in front of anyone. Make sure you keep that private. To this day, it is so challenging to talk to my clients about their salaries, but they're coming to me for wanting help with salary renegotiations. Well, let's talk about why this is important. And then I'll show you how to march into your HR office or into your leader's office and show them your value. This is what I get to do with my clients. And so it's important that we learn for ourselves why this is important, why we want to close this gap, how it's going to help create generational wealth within our communities, within our culture. This is why it's important to have these challenging conversations that a lot of Latinas don't want to have. And so this is why I'm so happy that Gloria Ramos Cortez is wanting to do a live stream with me and whoever else in her party, in her group, so that we can talk about this further. So I want for you to follow along here. Stay close. Oh, Gloria's here. Oh, fantastic. Sorry, Gloria. I'm just now seeing your comment. Let me see if I can put this on the screen. Oh, I sure can. So Gloria says, thank you, amiga. Yes, Latinas are taking charge and intentionally making changes towards closing the gap. This is important work that we must do. And Gloria and her group are having those tough conversations, and they're declaring October 5th the Latina Pay Negotiation Day. I love this so much, Gloria. So I'm so excited that you and Latinas for Pay Equity are putting this together because it's important that we practice self advocacy. So, one thing I'll end this very short live with. I just wanted to come on here, acknowledge Gloria, encourage you all to follow along. Make sure that you look for Latinas for Pay Equity over on Facebook, over on Instagram and LinkedIn. Latinas for Pay Equity. And the hashtag you're going to want to use is Latina Pay Negotiation Day. That's a powerful hashtag that says everything about the next step that we want for you to take on October 5th, because it's not enough to talk about pay equity. We have to take this a step further and talk about pay parity, and how wonderful to then give permission to our Latinas and say, it's negotiation day, my friend. It's not just Latina Pay Equal Pay Day. No, we're taking this a deeper level. No, we're going to ask you to go and negotiate your salary. And what you have to do is say, tell me how. The most powerful, and it's not a question, but it's the most powerful statement, the beginning of a statement that you're going to walk into your leader's office or into your HR's director's office, and you're going to go, tell me how I can begin the conversation of negotiating my salary. Tell me. That is such a powerful start to a conversation. Tell me how I can bring forth the body of evidence to show you that I have contributed greatly to this organization. And here I am asking for a negotiation in my salary because of what I have contributed. So if you're just joining along, Latina Equal Pay Day is October 5th. And this is a very personal, very intimate conversation. It resonates with my heart. I have been a working professional adult for a very long time. And I have seen the inequities, especially in women leaders, especially with the women that I serve through my coaching and consulting company. This is where I get to see the injustice. This is where I get to see the 52 cents that a Latina makes for every dollar paid to a white and a non-Hispanic man. 52 cents for every dollar. So we're helping organizations make profit, build empires on the back of a Latina's back. You understand, this is sweat equity. We're not even getting paid, not even close to what our male counterparts are getting. This is why this conversation is so important. And this is why Gloria and her team, her group, are making sure that we understand what it takes to negotiate our pay. So we're going to have a fantastic conversation with Gloria and her team. We're going to get you the dates, but I want for you to follow along here with me at Dr. Denise Simpson, whether you're watching on YouTube right now, whether you're watching on Facebook right now, or on my personal page on Facebook. Please follow along so that you don't miss this powerful conversation. And if you're saying, but I'm not a Latina, I don't know your culture, well, then you should join us for this conversation, because we want for you to understand, just find awareness around why this is an important conversation to close this pay gap, because it impacts our communities. And by the way, Latinas are the fastest growing professional group. And listen, it is time that we take action. No more talking about it. It's time to take forward movement. This is important. If you want to create a life that you want, it's not because you're not the smartest, or it's not because you don't have the greatest ideas. It's because you don't execute. That's execution is what we're talking about. Because October 5th, Latina Equal Pay Day is important to us. We're going to ask the Latinas to negotiate their salaries. And we're going to take your questions, because it's important that you feel safe. that you have psychological safety in your nervous system. Now, I'm talking about a whole other conversation here, and I'm not going to get too deep into this, but it's important that a Latina feels safe to walk into any office, to walk into any organization and say, this is what I've created. This is the contribution that I've made, and this is worth this in a dollar amount, in a salary amount. And we're going to take your questions so that if you are feeling insecure, you're feeling doubtful, or you're feeling some kind of way about negotiating your salary, this is the conversation for you to come and join. So you're going to want to follow me here, like I said, and then please also follow Latinas for Pay Equity. Gloria Ramos Cortez is a part of this beautiful group. There, it can be found everywhere: Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And that's where I'm following them, over on LinkedIn. But we're going to have a powerful conversation with Gloria and her team, and we're going to help you feel confident. We want to help you gain clarity around your leadership value, on what you've contributed to your organization. And we want to help you march into those offices come October 5th and asking for those pay increases. That's what we want. This is how we're going to close that pay gap. And so we're going to hold our organizations on the line. They're accountable. And this is called pay parity. And we're going to talk about pay parity and pay equity when we meet for our live stream. And Gloria just posted here. This is where you can find Gloria and her amazing group. It's Latinas for Pay Equity. That's what you're going to look for, and just do the search bar on Facebook or on LinkedIn or on Instagram, and it's going to take you directly to their page. So use the hashtag. Let me be reminded here: Latina Pay Negotiation Day. Hashtag Latina Pay Negotiation Day. That's what you're going to want to use beginning now through Thursday, October 5th, because we don't want you just to talk about pay equity. We want to empower you to go in there and negotiate your salary. And that very first statement that's going to come out of your mouth is, tell me how I can negotiate my salary. Tell me what you need to see so that we can start the conversation on salary negotiation. That's it. Tell me, and then finish your statement. That's how you're going to open up a conversation. You should feel confident. You should be clear-minded when you walk into HR's office or into your leader's office, and that's how you're going to open the conversation. Tell me how I can do this. And so we're going to talk more about negotiation and other amazing things on our live stream here very soon. So keep an eye out for our live stream coming up with Gloria and her amazing group that are doing great work in Latinas for Pay Equity. All right, my friends, it's 5:37 Austin time, and it's time for me to log off for the rest of the day. I'm wishing you all of my best, and I cannot wait to see you on our live stream. So follow me here. We're going to plan for this either tomorrow or Thursday, but it's going to happen with Gloria and her group. So make sure you go and find our friends over at Latinas for Pay Equity. All right. Have a fantastic evening, Gloria. So wonderful to see you here. Can't wait for our live chat. And we'll see you all very soon. Take good care, everyone. Bye.